I'm back, baby.
Actually, you know what? Let's use this. This might make a difference. And we'll leave it as it is. Greetings and welcome to another excellent World of Tanks video. This one's about the game board. I'm going to make this video relatively short and relatively concise to simplify matters. Now, what you see here is the ultimate prize. If you complete all 16 stamps on your game board, you get King Tiger 2, which is fantastic. I have this. This is in my garage. So for myself, when I get it, I'm not getting the tank. I'm going to get a 4 million basic silver refund, which is jackpot. I will be happy to take it. No question. Now, those of you who don't have it, super fantastic for you. There you go. And you can see it has that built-in skin. All right. That's not, you cannot change this. This is what it looks like all the time. So that's fine. But really good tier 8 heavy tank, monster armor, etc. And for those of you who don't have it, I hope you'll enjoy it when you get it because it's pretty cool. So the thing I want to do is just explain some basic stuff that happens on the game board. You know, you can do this from, in World War II, you can do tier 2 all the way up to tier 10, okay? I know you can do tier 2 because I've done it, and I actually have a game result I will show you to give you an example. One of the things is you can also do co-op or multiplayer, and there's different advantages for each. If you do multiplayer, you can simultaneously work on your contracts if that's what you want to do. Sometimes, however, co-op games go faster, so it can become a case of games per hour. And if you're doing the right tanks on the right, era of Cold War, you can do 8 and 10 games an hour, especially if you're playing moneymaker matches like we do sometimes. And not only are you making silver, but those games have a fast turnover. The moneymaker matches will last 4 minutes or less most of the time. So if you can get in a moneymaker match on era 1, 2, or 3, you can turn over a lot of matches quickly. That also will get you fast base experience. And that's one of the challenges that comes up is 6,000 tank XP, okay? And the thing about that is that if you do if you do co-op, you're going to get 40% to 50% of what you would get in a multiplayer. However, if you're playing a 4-minute match in co-op Cold War, you do 2 of those, that's like 8 minutes of gameplay. It will equal about 1 game, a solid average game of multiplayer. So it's one of those things that you don't get as much points per game in a co-op, but in Cold War they sometimes go super fast if you're playing the right type of match. And so per hour, it'll be roughly equal. You could do co-op and make as much tank XP in an hour or 30 minutes, whatever it is you need, than you would by playing in multiplayer. In some cases, in multiplayer, when your team loses because you got a team of imbeciles, which is for me every game, okay? It's just how many do we have? These guys are throwing the game away like it's, like they're being paid to do it. So it's very difficult to win more than half of your games because you have rank idiots throwing your games away. So doing multiplayer does have some advantages for contracts. But if you try to go and get 6,000 tank XP, you catch some bad breaks, and it happens to everyone. It doesn't matter who you are. You could be there for an hour or longer because you've had nothing but idiot fests. And that's his work. Welcome to the world of idiot tanks. That's what it is. Or as Klaus Kellerman would say, welcome to the stupids. That's what he calls them. He calls them the stupids because they're stupid. Okay? So you got to think about it. You're going to get less points on those games in co-op. You're going to get this much more when you win a multiplayer. Problem is, you don't win every game. Now, you get a good platoon going, you're going to win more games. So the multiplayer platoon can be super beneficial to you when you're trying to do this 6,000 tank XP. All right, now I'm going to show you another one in the game board itself. Correct. There we go. The one you see for myself, damage equal to your hit points and block more than your hit points. Now, this is a killer. You have to do damage and you have to block. Each of those numbers has to be equal to or higher than your hit points. Now, you see I'm sitting there with 1 out of 3. The last game I played was really good. Let me show you the game result of that game. Here it is. It is a tier 2. Now that game you see on the top of the screen, battle duration on the right-hand side, 4 minutes and 11 seconds. Okay, that's fantastic. So that match took me, I don't know, minute and a half to get into, basically from hitting the button to getting in the game in a minute and a half. So basically 6 minutes, I hit the button, 6 minutes later, I'm back to the garage, done. As you see, 790 damage. I have 300 hit points. Okay, so that's more than 300 hit points. On the blocking damage, you see 365. Again, I have 300 hit points. That's more than 300. Bada boom, bada bing, bada done. Okay, it's easy. I did that in the 38H. I'm going to go do it in the 38H after this video is over. It's super simple, but you have to do both. One of the friends I was playing with, when he got it, I hadn't seen it yet. He's like, I got to do damage or I got to do blocks. I'm like, it's not an or, it's an and. You got to do both of those things. You don't do just blocking or just damage. You got to do damage and blocking, one of each. Okay, so pay attention on those things. There's other ones that are kind of toughish. One of the toughest ones, if somehow you're by yourself, got no one in your platoon, or no one available to platoon with, there's play 8 games in a platoon. Pretty easy. You don't have to do anything. You just got to be in a platoon. All right? I did that with Brownie. 8 games in a platoon, bada boom, bada bing, done. Very good. There's another one, damage 45 guys. You can use, I did it in a sniper. In a sniper, the best one I had, though, was 11. I damaged 11 different guys in the match. I killed maybe 1. I wasn't trying to kill anybody. I was just trying to do damage. Let somebody else kill them. I don't care. I needed to damage 45 guys. Took me like 5 or 6 games because you're going to have some high, 11, and then some low, 3 or 4, due to bad luck. All right? Remember, the stupids are there. So just got to, use your brain, be a little creative sometimes on what you're looking for, what's good for you. Look at your challenge before you go and attempt to do it, okay? Because if you have spot 3,000 damage in any number of games, well, it's a lot harder if you're in a heavy tank. You can do it, but it's super hard. It's much better if you're in a fast, light tank. Okay, so, think about it. There's another one. Kill 8 guys at 250 meters or further. Well, that screams sniper. Or, you have some medium tanks that have some good range to them. You play them like a sniper. Common sense, right? Rocket tanks are good for that because the rockets will go and they'll drill guys at 600, 800 meters for the kill. Now, it's not always that case. Sometimes they just bounce off. Sometimes you miss because the guy moves. So there's positives and negatives. Keep aware of those things. Figure out, read your challenge, and then figure out what is going to work best for you, because that's all that matters. It doesn't matter. I tell you what I did, and it was easy for me. Well, maybe that's not easy for you. That's not the point. The point is make it easy, whatever it is. And sometimes, you know, my friend had trouble also. He only had a couple of 3 tanks that were good for blocking damage. He did get it, and actually he went to one of his tech tree tanks. So that's another lesson. Sometimes a premium tank will be your best friend for this challenge that comes up. Sometimes it's a tech tree tank. So his thing was he blocked the damage and then did damage 3 times in his Cold War Era 1 M103. He plays it a lot, and he's really a master of that tank, and so that works for him. I'm not going to choose that tank because I'm not as good of a heavy tank player as he was. So, again, it's not a question of anything other than what works for you. So, me, I like to do stuff in a sniper way, or I could do it, you know, I could damage guys in artillery for sure. So, I mean, I just didn't do it, but I thought about it. I'm like, yeah, I can do artillery. You know, damage 45 guys in artillery. Man, artillery, you line them up, and I'm just drilling guys, one here, one there, what have you. No big deal. But find the things or the ways you can do this with your skills and your selection of tanks, because everybody has a different selection. So that's basically what I wanted to let you know. Hopefully that helps you out. Oh, there's one more thing I wanted to show you. You'll notice these different prizes. Horizontally, the top one, you get a free camo. The second one, you're going to get an inscription. The third one, a free commander. This Percy Hobart. Now, he's also available for sale in the store. I don't know who was thinking about this, but they didn't seem to really be paying attention. The last one on the bottom, horizontal, another camo. This is a Tank Fest camo, so is the top one. Vertically, on the left, 4 times 8 boosters, which is great. I'm out of those. They're awesome for 38Hs. This is for a tank showcase. Now, on my tank showcase, you might, well, actually, I had it turned. You couldn't see it. I have a Ninja Turtles party wagon in my tank showcase. When I unlock this one, I'm going to have another one. I'm probably going to put the Krang Technodrome behind it, because that would be awesome as well. Vertical number 3, 3 days of premium. Fantastic. And then the last one over here, Tank Fest emblem. So that's great stuff. So hopefully Tank Fest stuff is working out good for you. Hopefully you're doing well in your regiments, because you can get those camos in the regiments. So that's what I've been doing. Been working on some other stuff as well. So, you know, kind of behind the ball of making videos. But I wanted to get this one done. So we got this done. Hopefully this will help you. Hopefully your friends will get this information if they need it. So look forward to seeing you guys in another video. And as always, like and subscribe, please.